Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to share with you a simple truth. Success is not built in one day, but every single day. And the key to that success is not talent, not luck, not money. It is how much you challenge yourself. Most people dream of success, but they are afraid of challenges. They want comfort, but comfort never creates winners. The people who grow, the people who achieve, the people who inspire, they are the ones who push themselves a little harder every single day. So, the topic I want to talk about today is very clear. Challenge yourself every day for success. If you can learn to face daily challenges with courage, discipline, and determination, there is no limit to what you can achieve. When people talk about success, they imagine freedom, wealth, and recognition. But what most people don't realize is that success never comes from staying comfortable. Comfort is easy. Comfort feels safe. Comfort gives you temporary happiness, but comfort also keeps you where you are. If you want growth, you must step outside of that comfort zone, because the comfort zone is a beautiful place, yet nothing ever grows there. Think about it. When you were a child, learning to walk was not comfortable. You fell down, you cried, you felt pain, but you stood up again and again. That is how you grew. When you went to school, solving a new problem was never comfortable. Sometimes you felt stupid, sometimes you felt weak, but in the process, your mind expanded. Growth always comes with a little bit of pain, a little bit of challenge, a little bit of discomfort. That discomfort is the price you pay for improvement. Most people run away from challenges because they don't want to feel uncomfortable. They avoid new skills because it feels too hard. They avoid new opportunities because they are afraid of failure. They avoid taking responsibility because it feels heavy. But the truth is, if you always choose the easy road, you will never become strong enough to climb the mountain. The easy road will only keep you where you are, while the difficult road will take you where you want to be. If you look at anyone who has achieved something extraordinary, you will see one common thing. They challenged themselves every day. They did things that others were not willing to do. They stayed awake when others were sleeping. They practiced when others were relaxing. They kept learning when others thought they already knew enough. Growth does not come from doing what is easy. Growth comes from doing what is necessary even when it is uncomfortable. Comfort is dangerous because it gives you the illusion of progress. You feel satisfied, you feel secure, but in reality, you are standing still. Imagine water in a pond. If it stays still for too long, it becomes dirty, it loses its freshness. But a river keeps flowing, keeps moving, and because of that, it stays alive. Human beings are the same. The moment we stop challenging ourselves, we stop moving. And when we stop moving, we stop growing. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow. When you speak in front of people and your hands shake, that is a challenge. When you try a new business and you are afraid of failing, that is a challenge. When you wake up in the morning and don't feel like working, that is also a challenge. Each time you step into these uncomfortable moments, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Step by step, challenge by challenge, you shape yourself into the kind of person who can achieve success. The problem is that most people want the results of growth, but not the process of growth. They want success without struggle. They want progress without pressure. They want to change their life without changing their habits. But life does not work that way. The seed has to break before it becomes a tree. The athlete has to train until his muscles hurt before he can win. The entrepreneur has to take risks, lose money, face rejection, and yet continue before he builds a successful business. Growth and comfort cannot exist together. The more you choose comfort, the less you grow. The more you choose challenge, the more you expand your limits. If you want a different future, you must challenge your present. If you want to build strength, you must carry weight heavier than what you carried yesterday. If you want to become wise, you must face problems you have never solved before. That is the only way to move from who you are today to who you can become tomorrow. When people think about success, they imagine something huge, something extraordinary, something that happens suddenly. But the truth is, success is not one big event. Success is the result of small daily challenges that you overcome consistently. It is not about what you do once in a while, but what you push yourself to do every single day. Most people wait for a big opportunity to prove themselves. They think that one day something magical will happen and they will finally succeed. But life does not work like that. Big success is built on small victories. Just like a tall building is built brick by brick, your future is built challenge by challenge. Every time you face a small challenge, you add another brick to the foundation of your success. Think about a person who wants to become strong. If they go to the gym one day and lift heavy weights, they will not become strong instantly. But if they challenge themselves with small workouts every single day, their strength will grow naturally. The same rule applies to the mind, to business, to leadership, to every area of life. Small challenges prepare you for the bigger ones. They build discipline, confidence, and resilience over time. The problem is that many people underestimate small challenges. They think it's too simple, it doesn't matter. Waking up early feels like a small challenge. Reading 10 pages of a book feels like a small challenge. Practicing one new skill for 20 minutes feels like a small challenge. But these are the exact habits that separate successful people from ordinary people. Because when you practice small challenges daily, they become habits, and habits shape your destiny. Every day gives you an opportunity to test yourself in small ways. When you are tired but still choose to keep going, that is a challenge. When you want to complain but instead decide to find a solution, that is a challenge. When you are tempted to give up but take one more step forward, that is a challenge. These moments may look small, but they are the real training ground for success. Big challenges never come announced. They come suddenly, and only those who have trained themselves daily are ready to face them. Imagine a soldier. He does not wait for the war to start training. He trains every day with small drills so that when the real battle comes, he is prepared. In the same way, life will test you with challenges, and your preparation is in the small struggles you go through daily. Success is never about perfection. It is about consistency. A person who improves 100% every day becomes 37 times better in a year. This is the power of small daily challenges. They may look invisible in the short term, but they create massive transformation in the long term. If you keep moving forward a little every day, you will be surprised at how far you can go in a few years. The secret is to focus on progress, not perfection. Don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity. Just start with small challenges today. Learn one new word, save a little money, call one customer, practice one skill. Take one step toward your dream. These are the daily challenges that compound into big achievements. When you look at successful people, you might see the final result. The wealth, the recognition, the power. But behind that final result are years of small daily struggles, small risks, small sacrifices, and small improvements. What looks like an overnight success is actually the product of thousands of days of persistence and effort. That is why the real secret of success is not in extraordinary actions, but in ordinary actions done consistently, even when they are not easy, even when they don't bring instant results, even when nobody else is watching. Most people are afraid of failure. They see failure as a sign that they are not good enough, that they should stop trying, that their dream is impossible. But failure is not the end. Failure is only part of the process, a teacher, a form of training that prepares you for success. Every successful person has failed many more times than the world will ever know. The difference is they never allowed failure to define them. They used failure as a stepping stone to move higher. When you fail, it does not mean you are weak. It means you are learning. It means you are trying something new. It means you are moving outside of your comfort zone. Failure is proof that you are on the journey of growth. The only people who do not fail are the people who never try, and not trying is the biggest failure of all. Think about a child learning to ride a bicycle. He falls once, he falls twice, sometimes he even falls 10 times. But every time he falls, he learns how to balance a little better. Falling is training. Without those falls, he would never learn to ride. Life is the same. Every failure gives you balance, wisdom, and experience that no book, no teacher, no advice can ever give you. Failure is the training ground where resilience is built. The problem is that many people stop at failure. They think, I failed, so it's over. But failure is never final unless you quit. Every failure carries a lesson, and the people who succeed are simply the ones who pay attention to those lessons. If you see failure as the end, you stop learning. But if you see failure as training, you grow stronger after every setback. In business, in careers, in relationships, in life itself, failure is the most powerful training program. You may lose money, you may lose time, you may lose confidence, but you will never lose the lessons that failure gives you. These lessons stay with you forever, shaping your character, sharpening your mind, and preparing you for bigger opportunities in the future. Look at the stories of great innovators, leaders, and entrepreneurs. Almost every one of them started with failure. They launched products that nobody bought. They faced rejection after rejection. They struggled when nobody believed in them. But instead of stopping, they treated each failure as a classroom. They analyzed what went wrong, they corrected their mistakes, and they tried again. And with every attempt, they became more skilled, more confident, and more determined. Failure is also a test of your mindset. Anyone can be positive when everything is working, but your true character is revealed when things fall apart. Failure asks you, do you really want this? Are you strong enough to keep going? If your answer is yes, you will use failure as fuel. If your answer is no, failure will stop you. The way you interpret failure determines your future. Even in nature, failure is part of growth. The seed must break before it becomes a tree. The bird must struggle to break the shell before it can fly. The caterpillar must fight in the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. Without that struggle, without that failure, life cannot transform. Your failures are the same. They are breaking you only to remake you stronger. What people often forget is that success is built on failure. Every skill you master is built on hundreds of mistakes. Every opportunity you win is built on dozens of rejections. Every success story is written with chapters of struggle. Failure is not your enemy, it is your trainer. It shapes you into someone who can handle the weight of success when it finally comes. Human beings are naturally wired to seek comfort. We like routine, safety, and the feeling of security. But comfort, while pleasant, does not prepare us for the challenges of life. Real strength is built in discomfort. When you step into situations that stretch you, when you face pressure, when you endure pain, you are building resilience. The ability to keep moving forward no matter how difficult the path becomes. Resilience is not born in moments of ease, it is created in moments of struggle. Think of a muscle in the body. If you never put stress on it, it remains weak. Only when you lift heavy weight, only when you push it beyond its normal limits, does the muscle grow stronger. The discomfort of exercise develops physical strength. In the same way, the discomfort of challenges develops mental and emotional strength. Without that discomfort, resilience can never be formed. When you experience failure, rejection, criticism, or hardship, you may feel pain. That pain is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to prepare you. Each difficult moment forces you to adapt, to think differently, to push through barriers you never thought you could overcome. Every time you do this, you expand your capacity to handle even greater challenges in the future. Discomfort becomes the training ground where resilience is shaped. The world is uncertain, and no one can avoid problems forever. Markets crash, businesses fail, health declines, relationships break, opportunities vanish. If you live only in comfort, these shocks will break you when they come. But if you have trained yourself to live with discomfort, you will bend but not break. You will absorb the pressure and rise again, because resilience is already inside you, built through years of enduring small and big discomforts. Discomfort teaches patience. When things are hard and you want to quit, staying committed builds endurance. Discomfort teaches courage. When fear tries to hold you back, moving forward anyway builds bravery. Discomfort teaches creativity. When the easy solution doesn't work, you are forced to think differently and discover new paths. Every lesson of resilience comes wrapped in discomfort, and those who are willing to embrace it become unshakable. Consider the story of an entrepreneur starting a business. In the beginning, there is no stability. Money is short, customers are few, failure is everywhere. It is uncomfortable to face rejection, to live with uncertainty, to work without guarantees. But the discomfort develops resilience. The entrepreneur learns persistence, learns to solve problems, learns to adapt to constant change. Years later, that resilience becomes the foundation of a successful company. Without discomfort, the entrepreneur would never have survived the early struggles. Even in personal life, discomfort is necessary. Waking up early when your body wants to sleep, speaking in public when your voice shakes, learning a new skill when your mind feels slow, standing up again after disappointment when your heart feels heavy. Each of these moments of discomfort is strengthening you from the inside. Over time, you stop fearing difficulties because you know that you have endured discomfort before and you can endure it again. That confidence is resilience in action. Resilience is not built in a day. It is built over time by consistently choosing to face discomfort instead of avoiding it. Every challenge you step into, every fear you confront, every obstacle you push through becomes a layer of strength added to your character. Slowly, you develop the ability to stand tall in situations where others would collapse. You learn to trust yourself, not because life is easy, but because you have survived when life was hard. Most people see challenges as problems, as walls that block the path forward. They complain, they feel unlucky, they ask, why me? But the truth is, every challenge carries within it an opportunity. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not that one faces fewer challenges, but that one learns how to see opportunities inside those challenges while the other only sees obstacles. When something feels difficult, it is usually because it has value. If it were easy, everyone would do it, and it would no longer be special. The very fact that a task is challenging means there is potential for growth, learning, or innovation. For example, when customers complain about a product, most businesses see it as a headache. But a wise entrepreneur sees it as an opportunity to improve, to innovate, and to deliver something better than the competition. What others call a problem, leaders call a possibility. History is full of examples where challenges created great opportunities. When the internet first appeared, many people doubted it, many resisted it, and many felt it was too complicated. But those who accepted the challenge of learning it, building on it, and using it created companies that changed the world. Every new technology, every economic shift, every crisis brings challenges, but hidden inside are opportunities for those willing to see differently. A challenge forces you to think. It pushes you to ask questions you would never ask if everything were smooth. It makes you creative because the old way no longer works. It makes you persistent because the easy path is closed. All of these qualities, creativity, persistence, problem solving, are exactly the qualities that lead to success. So in truth, challenges are not blocking opportunities. They are guiding you toward them. Imagine a mountain climber standing before a steep, dangerous path. To most people, it looks impossible, even foolish to attempt. But to the climber, the challenge of the mountain is the opportunity to prove his strength, to experience the view at the top, to achieve something extraordinary. Without the challenge, the opportunity would not exist. The higher the challenge, the greater the opportunity hidden inside. In life and business, the biggest opportunities often come disguised as the toughest problems. When the economy is struggling, there is opportunity to build more efficient systems. When people are suffering, there is opportunity to create solutions that make life better. When markets are unstable, there is opportunity to take risks that others are too afraid to take. Challenges separate those who give up from those who rise, And in that separation, opportunities are created. The important thing is how you train your mind to look at challenges. If you see them only as pain, you will run away. If you see them as stepping stones, you will keep moving forward. Every time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What skill can I develop here? What solution can I create that others are not seeing? The answer to these questions often reveals the opportunity that was hidden all along. Great leaders, inventors, and entrepreneurs are not people who avoided challenges. They are people who looked at a challenge and said, inside this difficulty lies something valuable. They turned challenges into businesses, into movements, into breakthroughs. Their success was not in escaping problems, but in transforming them into opportunities that changed their lives and the lives of others. One of the biggest mistakes people make on their journey to success is constantly comparing themselves to others. From a young age, we are taught to look at what others have, how others perform, how others live, and then measure ourselves against them. This habit may seem harmless, but it quietly destroys motivation, confidence, and progress. Comparison kills progress because it shifts your focus from your own path to someone else's path, and no one can move forward while walking in the shadow of another person's journey. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's timing is different. Everyone's struggles are different. When you compare yourself to someone else, you ignore the unique journey you are meant to walk. You may see someone achieving success at 25 while you are still struggling, but you don't see the hidden battles they fought before that. You may see someone with wealth and recognition, but you don't see the sacrifices they made, the failures they endured, or the challenges they overcame. Comparison only shows you the surface, never the full story. The danger of comparison is that it creates two harmful emotions. If the person you compare yourself to is ahead, you feel jealousy, frustration, and insecurity. You start to believe you are not good enough, and this makes you stop trying. If the person you compare yourself to is behind, you feel pride and arrogance, and this makes you stop improving. In both cases, progress dies. True growth comes not from looking at others, but from focusing on yourself, on how far you have come, and on how much better you can be today than you were yesterday. Think of a runner in a race. If he keeps looking at the person beside him, he loses speed, he loses focus, and eventually he loses the race. The fastest runner is not the one who watches others, but the one who keeps his eyes forward and gives his best to his own track. Life works the same way. The moment you compare too much, you lose energy that could have been spent on moving forward. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to yourself. Ask, am I improving from yesterday? Am I learning more than last month? Am I stronger than last year? This is the only comparison that matters because progress is personal. You don't need to be better than anyone else. You need to be better than the person you were before. In business, comparison is especially dangerous. Companies fail when they spend too much time copying competitors instead of creating their own unique value. Leaders fail when they try to look like others instead of being authentic. Entrepreneurs fail when they measure themselves by other people's results instead of their own mission. Success comes when you stop chasing others and start building your own identity, your own vision, your own path. Social media has made comparison even stronger. You open your phone and see someone traveling, someone buying a new car, someone celebrating a big achievement. What you don't see are the struggles, the failures, the nights of doubt behind those pictures. Believing that their life is perfect while yours is not will only drain your confidence. Remember that people show the highlight reel, not the behind the scenes story. If you allow these illusions to define your value, you will always feel less, no matter how much you achieve. Progress is about small, consistent steps forward, not about keeping pace with someone else's timeline. When you waste time comparing, you delay your own growth. When you focus on yourself, you discover what makes you unique, what strengths you already have, and what steps you need to take to reach your goals. Energy goes where attention flows, And if your attention is on others, your energy will never be on building yourself. Confidence is not something you are born with. Confidence is something you build, and the tool that builds it is challenge. Every time you face a challenge, whether big or small, you are given the chance to prove to yourself that you can do more than you thought. With each step forward, confidence grows not because others believe in you, but because you start believing in yourself. When life is easy, confidence remains low because there is nothing to test your ability. Comfort never builds confidence, it only creates dependency. You begin to feel secure only when the situation is familiar, and the moment something new or difficult arrives, your confidence collapses. That is why real confidence is developed not in comfort, but in challenge. When you face difficulty and still find a way through, you carry that victory inside you forever, and it becomes the foundation of your self-belief. Think of a student learning to speak in public. At first, the challenge feels overwhelming. The hands shake, the voice trembles, the mind goes blank. But after facing that challenge again and again, something changes. The fear becomes smaller, the words become stronger, and confidence grows. Each challenge faced in front of the audience builds a layer of courage, and what once felt impossible becomes natural. Without the challenge, the confidence would never have existed. Confidence is not built by avoiding problems. It is built by solving them. Each time you overcome an obstacle, you tell yourself, I can do this. That simple message, repeated again and again through different experiences, creates a strong inner voice. Eventually, when a new challenge appears, you no longer ask, can I handle this? You say, I have handled difficulties before, and I can handle this too. This mindset does not come from theory, it comes from experience, and experience comes only through challenge. Many people wait for confidence before they act. They think, once I feel confident, I will take the step. But confidence does not come first, action comes first. You must take the step while afraid, while uncertain, while unprepared. The challenge itself creates the confidence you are waiting for. Every great leader, entrepreneur, or achiever started without confidence, but by repeatedly facing challenges, their confidence was forged like steel under fire. Challenges also expose hidden strengths. You may believe you are weak, but when faced with a tough situation, you discover a resilience inside you that you never knew existed. This discovery transforms the way you see yourself. Once you know you can handle difficulty, your confidence rises naturally. Confidence is not about pretending to be strong, it is about proving to yourself through real challenges that you are strong. Consider an athlete preparing for a big competition. Every day of training is filled with challenges. Heavy weights, strict routines, physical exhaustion. Each challenge met builds confidence in the athlete's ability to perform. By the time the competition arrives, the athlete is not afraid because the confidence has already been created through the countless challenges of practice. The same rule applies to every area of life. The preparation of challenge builds the confidence for the future. Confidence built through challenge is lasting because it is rooted in evidence. It is not based on compliments or external validation, but on real moments of victory. You know you can survive because you have already survived. You know you can succeed because you have already overcome. That kind of confidence cannot be shaken easily because it is built on truth, not illusion. Success is not built in one big moment of inspiration. It is built in the quiet, ordinary moments when nobody is watching, when the excitement is gone, and when the only thing that keeps you moving is discipline. Discipline is the daily challenge because it demands that you do what is necessary, not what is easy. It asks you to choose long-term rewards over short-term pleasure, to act even when you don't feel like it, and to stay consistent when others have already quit. Talent is useless without discipline. Ideas are powerless without discipline. Dreams remain dreams without discipline. Many people start strong with big goals, but only a few finish, and the difference is not intelligence or luck. It is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement, between motivation and results, between who you are and who you want to be. Every day, life presents a small battle. Wake up on time or stay in bed. Work on your goals or waste time. Eat healthy or give in to temptation. Study for the future or scroll endlessly on your phone. These decisions look small, but they shape your destiny. Discipline is the ability to win these daily battles, and by winning them consistently, you build the foundation for success. The challenge of discipline is that it is often boring. It does not give you instant rewards. Waking up early today will not make you successful tomorrow. Reading a few pages today will not make you an expert tonight. Practicing your skill today will not make you a master immediately. The results of discipline are invisible at first, and this is why most people quit. But those who endure the daily challenge of discipline begin to see results compound over time, and soon they are far ahead of those who gave up. Discipline also demands sacrifice. It requires you to say no when everyone else is saying yes. It requires you to skip comfort, entertainment, and distractions in order to stay focused. This is why it feels like a challenge every single day. But it is in that challenge where strength is created. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you are training yourself to control your mind instead of being controlled by it. In business, discipline means working on your vision even when the market is uncertain. In studies, discipline means learning even when the subject feels difficult. In health, discipline means training your body even when you feel tired. In personal growth, discipline means controlling your emotions even when life is unfair. In every area, discipline is the daily challenge that separates those who wish from those who achieve. Think about an athlete. The glory is not in the moment he wins the medal. The glory is in the thousands of days he woke up early, trained hard, and stayed disciplined when no one was watching. Without the daily challenge of discipline, he would never be prepared for that one big day. The same is true for anyone who wants success. The big results are only the reflection of small disciplined choices made again and again. Discipline also builds freedom. At first, it feels like restriction, like forcing yourself to do something you don't want. But over time, discipline gives you freedom that others cannot enjoy. The student who stays disciplined with learning gains the freedom of knowledge. The entrepreneur who stays disciplined with money gains the freedom of financial stability. The person who stays disciplined with health gains the freedom of energy and strength. Discipline may feel like a cage in the beginning, but it eventually opens the doors to freedom that comfort will never provide. Many people believe that skills are the most important part of success. They think that if they study hard, learn a trade, or gain technical knowledge, they are ready to succeed. But the truth is, skills alone are never enough. Skills are tools, and like any tool, they are only effective when guided by the right mindset. Mindset shapes how you use your skills, how you respond to challenges, and whether you keep moving forward when life becomes difficult. Skills can be learned quickly. Mindset takes a lifetime to develop. A person with average skills but a strong mindset will go further than someone with brilliant skills but a weak mindset. Why? Because mindset determines how you react to failure, how you handle pressure, and how you approach opportunities. Skills can open a door, but mindset keeps you inside the house, builds the walls, and creates the roof. Without the right mindset, skills are wasted potential. Think about a student who is naturally smart. They may get top grades with little effort, but when a problem appears that they cannot solve immediately, their mindset is tested. Some will panic, complain, or give up because they rely only on their natural ability. Others, with a strong mindset, will see the difficulty as a chance to learn, adapt, and grow. That mindset, resilience, perseverance, curiosity, is more valuable than intelligence alone. In business, the same rule applies. A person can learn marketing, coding, or management skills, but if they have a fixed mindset, fear failure, or resist change, they will not succeed. On the other hand, a person with an open, growth-oriented mindset can learn new skills, pivot when necessary, and turn setbacks into opportunities. Skills may be outdated tomorrow, but a strong mindset will remain useful for a lifetime. Mindset also determines the quality of your decisions. Two people may have the same knowledge and skills, but their mindset influences how they interpret information, handle risk, and solve problems. A confident, patient, and resilient mindset allows you to think clearly under pressure, to take calculated risks, and to stay focused on long-term goals. Without the right mindset, even the most skilled person can make poor decisions that lead to failure. The most successful people in history did not reach their achievements because they were the most skilled. They reached success because they had the mindset to persevere, to adapt, and to see opportunities where others saw obstacles. They understood that challenges are lessons, that failure is temporary, and that effort compounds over time. This mindset gave them the courage to act, the patience to endure, and the clarity to make the right choices. Even in personal growth, mindset outweighs skills. Skills can help you earn money, gain recognition, or perform tasks efficiently, but mindset shapes your character. It determines how you treat others, how you respond to setbacks, and how you grow beyond your current limitations. A person with a strong mindset sees problems as learning experiences and setbacks as temporary, while a person with a weak mindset sees problems as punishment and setbacks as evidence of their limits. Developing a strong mindset requires daily practice. It requires challenging your fears, questioning your assumptions, and building resilience over time. It requires patience, humility, and curiosity. Skills can be learned in a classroom, but mindset is forged in real life through challenges, failures, discomfort, and reflection. The stronger your mindset, the more effectively you can use any skill you acquire, and the further you can go in life. Many people think success is a place they arrive at, a moment when everything is perfect, when the bank account is full, when the recognition is complete, or when the problem is solved. But that is an illusion. Growth is not a destination you reach. Growth is a journey that continues every day of your life. There is no final point where you are done, no finish line where you can relax completely. True growth is continuous, and understanding this is the key to living a meaningful and successful life. When you see growth as a journey, challenges become part of the process rather than obstacles that stop you. Every difficulty you face is a step forward, every mistake is a lesson, and every uncomfortable moment is training for the future. People who treat growth as a destination often give up when progress slows, when results take time, or when the rewards are not immediate. But life does not work in shortcuts. The journey is the reward, because it is where learning, strength, and resilience are built. Think about learning a skill. The first time you try, you make mistakes. The second time you improve. Months later, you still have room to grow. If you focus only on the end result, mastery or perfection, you will be frustrated every day. But if you focus on the journey, every small improvement becomes meaningful. You celebrate progress, you embrace mistakes, and you continue to push forward because growth itself is the destination. Even in business, leaders who understand growth as a journey are more successful. They do not chase only profits or recognition. They focus on improving processes, developing people, and creating value continuously. Every challenge, every setback, every success is part of a larger journey that never truly ends. This mindset allows them to adapt to change, stay resilient during difficult times, and find opportunities in every stage of their development. The journey of growth is also deeply personal. It is about who you are becoming, not just what you are achieving. You grow by learning, by struggling, by reflecting, and by pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. Every step forward, no matter how small, shapes your character, your mindset, and your abilities. Success is not measured only by outcomes, but by the person you become in the process of moving forward. People often compare themselves to others and think they are falling behind, but the journey of growth is unique for each person. Your journey cannot be measured by someone else's milestones. The pace, the struggles, the lessons, and the victories are all different. Comparing yourself to someone else can make you impatient or discouraged, but embracing your own journey helps you focus on what matters. your progress, your learning, and your continuous improvement. Growth as a journey also teaches patience. Instant results are rare. Most achievements come from consistent effort over time. The discipline to work every day, the courage to face challenges, and the perseverance to continue despite failures are the hallmarks of those who understand the journey. They don't stop because results are slow. They see every small victory, every improvement, and every lesson as a milestone along the way. The beauty of growth as a journey is that it never ends. Life constantly presents new challenges, new opportunities, and new lessons. The moment you think you have arrived, the world changes and a new stage begins. Those who embrace this idea are never stagnant. They are always learning, always improving, and always moving forward. Every day offers a chance to grow, to learn, and to become a better version of yourself. Ein Komkiosan success is not a single moment, a lucky break, or a place you arrive at overnight. It is the result of consistently challenging yourself day after day in ways that push you beyond comfort, fear, and doubt. Every small challenge you face, waking up early, learning something new, taking a risk, or overcoming failure, builds the habits, skills, and mindset that create lasting success. Comfort may feel good, but it stops growth. Challenge may feel difficult, but it develops strength, resilience, and confidence. When you face challenges, you discover opportunities hidden in obstacles. When you embrace discomfort, you develop resilience that prepares you for the bigger battles ahead. Daily discipline strengthens your character, and a growth-oriented mindset ensures you never stop learning. Comparing yourself to others only slows progress. Challenging yourself allows you to measure success by your own improvement. Every step, every struggle, every failure is a lesson, a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. So do not wait for perfect circumstances or easy paths. Make it a habit to challenge yourself every day. Let every difficulty, every setback, and every small victory be your teacher. That is how ordinary people transform into extraordinary achievers and create a life of true success.